So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Navamsa video in our Navamsa series. And today we're going to be covering Saturn in the 4th house of the Navamsa chart. And what happens when Saturn is in your D9 Navamsa, not your birth chart. D9 Navamsa, the most important chart in Vedic astrology, which kind of shows the juices of the planet, which shows the strength of the planet, the mission of the planet. Shows your married life, shows the luck through marriage, shows the rise of luck, meaning Bhagya Uday. So that's what Navamsa is. And as always, if you do not know, if you don't know what your Navamsa is, what planetary placements you have, if you have Saturn in the 4th house, for that check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultation, and a link to my school, Vedic Astrology Academy, where I'm currently teaching the secrets of ascendants. Beautiful, simple, amazing things. So, Saturn in the 4th house of the Navamsa chart. Contrary to your preconceived notion about this placement, this is actually a great placement to have in your home. I mean, not in your home, in a Navamsa, in the 4th house. Because here's the thing. When it comes to Navamsa, after Venus, Saturn becomes extremely important. Why? Because if we are talking about marriage, if we are talking about unionship, which is the house of marriage? Saturn. Which is the house of marriage? 7th house is the house of marriage. Man, I need I've already had one glass of coffee. I'm going to have to need another one. The thing is, this is my 3rd video that I'm filming because I filmed 2 videos for school. So, brain is kind of clogged up. So, which is the house of marriage? 7th house. Where is Saturn originally exalted? In the 7th house of marriage, in Libra. So Saturn actually holds a very important say in Navamsa chart because Saturn is commitment, duty, fulfillment of contract. Okay. Saturn is boundary, Saturn is, tradition and culture. So when it's in the 4th house of Navamsa, shows a person is walking their path of the marriage, walking their path of unionship, okay, with great stability and foundation. One has a strong foundation in their home, meaning one relies on certain principles. One relies on certain cultural values to be executing in home for the home to be more stable. Such a person is quite fond of spending time at home because of the fact when you have Saturn in the 4th house in Navamsa, it is your karma to execute your karmas in the home. Such a person may actually be working from home. Such a person will make sure that the home is first, then career. But one thing we also see is that if a person is not mature, if a person does not have the capacity to be patient, does not have the capacity to have the wisdom to deal with the home life after marriage, then this Saturn will irritate you. It'll irritate you big time. But if you know that marriage is responsibility, marriage is duty, marriage is commitment, this is going to be a very stable environment. You're going to feel safe. Why? Because Saturn has a ring around it, right? A boundary around it. Whether it's an animal, whether it's a human, we all feel safe when we are behind certain boundary, when we are safeguarded from things. So that's one way of looking at this placement of Saturn. Then, when Saturn is in the 4th house, okay, one thing that you will see that a person may take on unnecessary debt that will bother them, will take away their peace of mind. For this person, a debt will always take away the peace of mind. Whether it's $1,000 debt, whether it's a $10,000 debt, when they have debt, peace of mind goes away. When they deal with health, peace of mind goes away. When competition comes in, peace of mind goes away. And this doesn't matter if your Saturn is exalted, debilitated, friendly sign, enemy sign, doesn't matter. The other thing we also see is that a person will eventually move to foreign places, distant lands, or at least away from their birth city. And this will definitely happen after 36. At the same time, Saturn will make a person an excellent communicator. A person will take time communicating with people. Person will be much more mature on social media. Person will somehow improve the career of their younger sibling with the Saturn. And especially if you're over 36 and you're running through, let's say, your Saturn Dasha, and you have the Saturn, these things you will notice will be extremely prominent. The other thing we also see is that this is a particular Saturn that will bring about responsibility, or pretty much you can become a leader, a kingly position. You'll have a kingly position, or you'll become this kingly-like leader in your community, in your career, in your workspace, in your chosen field to perform your karma. And the only thing that can disturb, this Saturn is a conjunction with another malefic planet, like Rahu, Ketu, Mars, even Sun. Although Sun and Saturn will work quite well together, but if any malefic is conjunct Saturn, then Saturn needs to be strong in order for you to feel the minimal effect of that. Like, for example, Saturn has to be in its own sign, exaltation, friendly sign, perhaps receiving the aspect of Jupiter, which becomes, again, a blessing. In that case, you'll still have issues, but they'll be much more stabilized. And Saturn in the 4th house, most definitely, if it's in a friendly sign or a sign which is quite good for Saturn, you will attain a long-term property. You will attain a long-term property through marriage. Not meaning like through your spouse or through dowry or something. It's just the activation of Navamsa. Also shows you will prefer darker vehicles, darker shaded vehicles, black colored vehicles. Person will also have an altar to either Shiva or Saraswati. And Saturn in the 4th house. Now, this is obviously, again, the level of this will either increase or decrease depending upon how Saturn is. But the relationship with your own mother becomes quite restrained. Or perhaps you're so busy in your own home life, you may not be able to pay attention to the mother. Mother will be under a lot of burden and responsibility in the second half of your life. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis of Saturn in the 4th house of Navamsa chart. If you are new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your Saturn is placed, all the other astrological details, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.